The opinions expressed are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the official positions of the sponsors, advertisers, or presenters. Advertising does not imply endorsement by the sponsors and presenters.
Welcome to the Lighting Controls Podcast, people. Today we've got a special episode for you that we've been working on ever since LEDucation 2023 happened. We got some great content for you to see. If you haven't been to LEDucation, check this episode out. But before we get into it, just wanted to let you know that this episode and this podcast is presented by the Lighting Controls Association, or LCA.
And financially supported by the National Association of Innovative Lighting Distributors, or NAILD.
Also, if you like lighting controls just as much as I do and you want to learn more, I want to let you know that Southern California Edison has a lighting controls webinar coming up in May. There are 3 different courses worth checking out that yours truly is teaching. We will have a link in the description for you to check them out. But just so you know, Southern California Edison, if you aren't familiar with them, they are one of the largest utilities in the United States, and they're a longtime leader in renewable energy and energy efficiency. They're headquartered in Rosemead in California, and they serve approximately 15 million people. So really great stuff. They have all kinds of webinars. Definitely check them out for other things related to lighting, but hopefully you'll check out the lighting controls episodes as well.
And also, to jump on what Webster just mentioned, we are also both going to be at Light Fair next month in New York. So if you are going to be attending Light Fair, whether you're there early to jump into some of the classes or you're just there for the trade show, Webster and I will both be there. He's a rock star and is teaching multiple classes, but him and I together are also doing one on controls, which will be on Wednesday morning. So if you guys are in the area and you're going to be at Light Fair, please feel free to stop by any of our sessions or just stop by and say hello. If you guys see us out on the floor, we'd be happy to chat with you about anything.
All right, Ron, so it's been a little while since we've been to LEDucation, but, just food for thought. What came to mind with LEDucation this year? I mean, we got through the pandemic, we got through the lulls. This seemed like a revamp. People were coming back, and it was busy.
Yeah, no, it was great. So I will actually say this was actually my first year at LEDucation, and I actually missed the first day of the show, fortunately, right? You were there both days, so you got a lot of content, but I was only there the second day. So it was a lot to take in. So anyone who hasn't been in the past, what's really cool about LEDucation that I found really sort of interesting is how equitable they are to everybody. There's no monster booths like at other trade shows. Everyone gets the same footprint and is given the same amount of space, which is great. It doesn't matter if you're the biggest vendor or the smallest. It's really about the education piece and showing everybody what's out there. But that was my sort of big takeaway from it. And just there's a lot to take in one day. Right. But what did you see? What did you find?
Yeah. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head with LEDucation is, the equity between the manufacturers. There's a lot of camaraderie. There's a lot of great, sharing of the latest and greatest that they have, but also kind of focusing in on what specifically you want to learn about. There's time enough if you go both days to really dig into the manufacturers you're curious about. But if you also just want to stop in, take a quick look at their products and then move on, you can do that too. So, I mean, with this video, it's kind of a quick rebuttal of everything that I did, but ultimately it's just, really great information, and you really see this unique aspect as opposed to, like you said, at other trade shows where you have these monster booths and they're really showcasing something, or they're really catering this experience so that as soon as you walk into their booth, it's like this, tap dance show. Whereas here it's just, it's a table with stuff on it. And whether you want to design your own experience with that or not, it's up to you. But it also, I think it really works well with the workshops, because you don't have because it's all compressed into a small enough space, you can just duck out, go to a workshop or a seminar, and then come right back to the show floor. That's what I was doing. I was going to these seminars, learning something new, and then hopping back out and running to the show floor to check out some more stuff.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, it was. I
was just gonna ask if you went to some seminars as well.
No, I only went through yours because I only had time to do one. I only had time to do one, so I sat through yours because that was all I had time for. I figured I'd sit there and heckle you and Gary, and it turned the other way around on me.
Right, yeah. Gary was heckling you.
Gary went on the attack. But no, it was it was a great show, and for my first time there, while it was sort of smaller as far as like everyone having the same size table, so you're not walking a giant convention center like you normally are, which is great, right? So that's always tough when you're walking these giant convention centers and you're trying to figure your way around and go up and down aisles. And it's just, so it makes it a lot easier to pace yourself quickly. Like, all right, they're busy. I'm going to go right there and come back in 5 minutes. And you didn't walk a quarter mile to do that, right? So, which is great. So it makes it a lot easier to get through the floor faster and spend some time with the manufacturers, because a lot of those big shows, it's if you walk away, you may not make it back by the time, right? It can be tough. So I just thought it was great. I wish I had more time to sit through some of the other classes, but unfortunately I did not.
Well, next year. But anyways, so hopefully if you didn't go to LEDucation or you missed a booth or something, hopefully this episode's going to be right up your alley and check it out. Here's LEDucation 2023.
Welcome to LEDucation 2023, Mr. Webster. Enjoy your stay.
Well, I'm Mark Lane. I'm the product director for Enlight.
Yes, I'm Nick with SenseWorks. Hi, this is Eric Miller with Avion Labs.
My name's Kristen Odell. I work for Steinel. I'm the regional sales manager for the Northeast.
My name is Steven Surgis. I'm with Myers Emergency Power Systems.
Hi, my name is Shanika Haynes. I am the regional Northeast manager for ETC Commercial.
I'm Tom Ladd, and I'm with Ferros Architectural Controls.
Good morning. My name is Sean Fernandez. I'm the product manager for Architectural Controls at ETC.
I'm Joshua Dag. I'm LED product manager for Roscoe's XFX, Image Spot, and Cube family.
Hi everyone, we're here at LEDucation 2023, here with Steven from McWong.
Hi, how are you?
Who is one of our great sponsors for this podcast. This is an unsponsored episode, but we just wanted to give highlights of LEDucation 2023. Steven, why don't you tell us what's new and great about McWong?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. First, thanks again for the opportunities here. My name is Steven Zhao. I'm the Executive Vice President of McWong International, lighting control company headquartered in Sacramento, California.
Hey guys, I'm here with Dan Hollenkamp from Toggled, and we're going to go over some of the gear they have here. So Dan, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've got going on?
We're really happy to have been here today because LEDucation looks like it's back, and it seems like it's fun to see people again. And we're just glad that people came out to say hi to us, and it's been a great time.
No, definitely.
Seeing customers and doing all that. So.
Got a couple really new products, like hot off the press is new, just released this week.
What we have here is a selection of different products that we come out with over the years that kind of show the breadth of what we can do.
Right now we have tunable white luminous, and we think right now
we are really cool wireless control. My favorite device is probably the LDD 700.
We used to wireless commercial lighting controls. We based on Bluetooth wireless mesh system.
Today we can show you a little bit more about the DCS.
We are a commercial company that specializes in wireless controls.
The Mosaic is designed for dynamic control of lighting.
Today we're here in New York at LEDucation, showing off some new products, which we're very excited about.
We're here showing off our projectors and our our LED fixtures.
This is called RSI, and this is a system input device. So as much as we make switches, and we do that for obviously your typical control, we're not going to make every switch, we're not going to make every sensor. So we've got a device that can bring in third-party inputs into our system. This is a 2-input device, so we've got 2 different channels. So we can bring 2 devices into this one.
And that's low voltage integration?
Yeah, low voltage. So it's basically a dry contact 0 to 10 volt type.
So either switching or dimming input?
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a selection of watch lights, moving lights, and direct view pixel products. We have a couple of different engines for these watch lights as well. We're known for doing specific engines of LEDs for specific applications. So here is a Q engine and here's a P engine.
The other award that we won last year is for the RGB white. So now, again, on these RGB white luminous, I have the same slider. Right now I'm at 6,000 Kelvin and I can go down to 1,800 Kelvin. I can tap here and just say, okay, I want to go at 3,000 Kelvin, and now I have 3,000 Kelvin on this luminous.
It's a wireless phase dimmer. And what's cool about this is that we can control an LED, ELD, dim glow, and we can also control from 2 locations, right? So you have the ability to control an LED, ELD load from 2 locations. You can control it in vacancy mode, in occupancy mode,
And is that through like a power pack over here?
Nope.
Or
the load control is right in here. The relay is right here.
Okay, so it's in that J box back
yes.
there.
Yep.
And what's all this here?
So we do offer layouts and just control packages. So as long as we have an electrical print, what we do is we send this to a third party, and we'll have a layout put together for the customer.
So any designers who need help laying out a system, you can help them out?
Correct. We'll handle that for us.
Great.
Right now it's being controlled through the Mix dongle. So that gives you Bluetooth control through the app here. So you have the ability to, definitely not the power of a full DMX controller, but you have the ability on the fly to make these.
And so what's the benefit of doing this over having a DMX system controller?
I mean, just the cost of a DMX.
Sure. So you don't need a full DMX system so long as you have that dongle.
Yep.
Our sensors that we developed called Direct Connect, they plug directly into the fixture controller, and they're all powered and configured off of that. So very simple, very low cost because we put all the intelligence here. So these are very simple. As a result, these are about the lowest cost motion sensor on the market, period. Any wired or wireless.
This is our digital control solution. This has 3 independent 20 amp relays included, so you can do multiple circuits in at different voltages using one box. Each one of those relays at 20 amps does allow you to also do a plug load control as well as lighting loads out of that.
One of our newest products right here is our brand new 125 watt inverter. As you can take a look here. This has so many features built into such a small box. Not only is it the smallest 125 watt inverter out there today, but we've also built in a emergency control relay. So actually we can bypass a switching solution, and we can also put dimming capabilities on this as well, which allows us to dim the lights on emergency, which is a newer code update. Again, it's still allowing, though, you can put more fixtures on an inverter as long as you can dim them down.
Here we have our networked lighting control system. It's all based on Bluetooth mesh with a focus on distributed intelligence and distributed data. So all of our devices have Bluetooth radios inside, so including our sensors, our switches, area controllers, fixture controllers, plug load controllers, and including our linear lamps. It can all be commissioned using an application on any mobile device, and it's really easy to control. You can see that all these lamps are individually addressable. All you need to do is get power to the devices. We have an optional IoT multi-protocol gateway, which allows us to extract the data from the system and break down data silos in buildings to help understand what's happening in buildings. So that allows us to present our devices as backnet points or receive control from an existing BMS. We recently added a driver for LoRaWAN to allow us to add additional sensors and control to gain more insight into what's happening in your building. So we're also releasing our web application, which allows you to set up customized charts, and we have I can switch screens. You can see your hierarchy of all your devices with all of your different sites, and you can control remotely. Oh, my Wi-Fi is dropping out. And also see inventory levels, so you can do quick audits of seeing like what all the settings of all your devices to make sure that everything's in compliance. So this is kind of one of our star products. This is our sensor. This light's going to turn on when I open the box. So this is our
That's why it's in the box.
This is why it's in the box.
I love it.
So this is this sensor detects motion density, ambient light, temperature, and humidity, and we collect that data every 5 minutes for 10 years on 2 AA batteries. So no special batteries, just standard off-the-shelf lithium AA batteries.
That's cool. So motion density, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So motion density, in addition to just occupancy, we're detecting how much motion there is in a room. And when we run it through some analytics, it lets us help determine kind of really how much that space is being used. Was it just someone walking through the space, or are there a lot of people in that space? It's not quite people counting, but it's a very economical way to understand what's happening in your building with traffic.
That's awesome. That's very cool. So Dan, I know you've got the new Luminaire controller. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So this is a cost-optimized controller to go directly onto fixtures. It relies on a fixture having either 12 or 24 volt auxiliary power and dim to off. One differentiator we have is we also, in addition to dimming, we also offer color tuning via 0 to 10. And there's also a sensor input. So it's just a really easy, economical way to bring individual fixture control to our existing system.
It's awesome. Thank you so much. We are very happy here today at the LEDucation. Great shows. And this show, what we exhibit here are Bluetooth SIG-based lighting controls on this side. It's an interoperable Bluetooth protocols. That means different manufacturers' product can communicate with each other. So we have our room control system here, have the power pack, wireless Bluetooth. We have the switches, the daylight sensors, and the PIR motion sensor on this side. Okay. On the other side here, you will see our Kasambi ecosystem product. We are a partner of Kasambi, another great company that focuses on wireless Bluetooth technology.
So you have the choice between Bluetooth or
yes,
Kasambi.
Exactly. You have the choice between Bluetooth and Kasambi. The TrueBlue and Kasambi, they are for different applications. On this side, we'll see same room controls here. We have a 2-channel color tuning control devices here. We have the ultrasonic and PIR UTAC plus a 4-button sync controller. So that's what we're here.
The color tuning here, is that 0 to 10?
That's 0 to 10. That's 0 to 10 to color tuning. Of course, we also have other products that we are not exhibiting here today. We have products that also work with Dolby.
Okay, great. So what's your favorite product from McQuan?
My favorite product is really here, the UTAC ultrasonic sensors, right? It's a very good product for office.
Yeah.
That's my favorite product here.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of ultrasonic nowadays. You see a lot of acoustic.
Yeah, you don't see, but ultrasonic is a proven technology, right? And we have incorporated Bluetooth into it, so I think that's my favorite product here.
And is that only in Kasambi, or is that also
That's
in Bluetooth?
available for both platforms.
For both. And is that line voltage powered?
It actually is low voltage powered by the power pack.
So once you have a power pack, you can power all your devices.
Yes. Yes.
Are any of these devices battery powered?
We don't have battery powered devices, but we do have kinetic power switches that are based on Notion technology.
Okay, so you have a Notion technology, which means that you don't need batteries.
You don't need a battery.
So you got a lot of happy customers there who don't like batteries.
Yeah, batteries have applications, but there's also, if you have a 20-story office building, if you put a battery switch on every office, down the road, someone has to go there replace thousands of batteries. Right. That's going to be a lot of cost over there. So I think either line voltage switches powered by the line voltage, I'll use the kinetic and Notion switch. I think those will be the best, in my opinion, the best application.
And do the kinetic switches look similar, or do they look a little different?
They are rocker style.
Okay.
Yeah, they're slightly different.
And is it on, off, raise, lower?
Yeah, we have a single button on and off dimming, and we have the dual buttons on and off dimming, color changing, scene A on scene B. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And so I'm seeing Fresnel lenses on these daylight sensors.
Yes.
Are they replaceable? Can you swap them out? Or
you could. Yeah, they're replaceable.
So you can get a different focal point for your daylight sensing.
Yes.
Is it open loop and closed loop?
This one is closed loop, but we are also in the process of developing an open loop photo cell.
Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Stephen.
Well, thank you for the lighting podcast. Right.
Thank you.
And so what's unique about Enotion over other protocols for wireless?
Enotion uses 902 megahertz, and I think some other companies, I won't say, use 315 megahertz, but Enotion uses 902 megahertz. That's what they recommend, and this is also in Enotion device.
And so what's this device over here?
This is the O3 Edge. This is our hub. It can hold up to 20 devices, 20 controllers. We also have it. Our next phase is so it can be on the cloud, so you can back everything up.
And so basically this acts as a gateway for devices, and it connects back to the internet. Without this device, these devices are just standalone.
Yes, correct.
One pane where you have a canvas, and you can see these colored boxes. These represent a concept we call spaces, but it's just a very flexible container system for adding fixtures and zoning fixtures. And then those containers can either be part of a larger parent, and the parents and the children's spaces can all have scenes. And the scenes all play really nicely in a hierarchy. So an all-off scene might sit in a parent space that could sweep through all of the children for an all-off at night. But then every space can have its own select few scenes, so that if you're just working in that space or just existing in that space, you control that space separately from the parent.
And so I can redesign these
absolutely
whenever I want to.
Yep. Squares, you can even draw polygons. So if you wanted to actually trace a background drawing or a reflected ceiling plan, you can put that reflected ceiling plan out back. You can scale the reflected ceiling plan, and then you can actually trace your areas and your zones, and then place lights in it. And the lights that you'll place in it come from our vast library. And we know the shape and size of those lights, and so they'll fit on that plan to scale.
Yeah, lastly, we have our Q family. We have not turned them on yet because we're just starting our day here, but these are really cutting edge as far as their ability to have different control options. So they have three main ones. So the My Mix, which is controlled through a My Mix mix dongle, that provides the ability to control through Bluetooth through the Mix app. So that makes it really easy for just addressing, as well as if you have a smaller installation, you want to be able to make those quick changes. So you're not going to get the full power of a DMX controller.
But I don't need a DMX controller to be able to control these.
Yeah, exactly. So so the DMX technology is integral to the fixture. So it translates what the mix is sending it into the DMX control, and that's how 0 to 10 volt works as well. So you can wire this directly into 0 to 10 volt, and it is translated inside the fixture to receive to be controlled through a master dimmer channel.
And is that for color as well, or just intensity?
Yeah, so 0 to 10 volts, just color. So how it works is you could either just configure it through like the MyMix app, or a controller upon integration, and then you can take that away and just use the master dimming channel through 0 to 10 volt, or you can order it directly from Roscoe, pre-tuned to the color temperature for our WNC, or the color recipe for the RGBA or the RGB.
This is our digital control solution. This has 3 independent 20 amp relays included, so you can do multiple circuits in at different voltages using one box. Each one of those relays at 20 amps does allow you to also do a plug load control, as well as lighting loads out of that. All the devices are low voltage, and they are wired in a linear topology using an 18-2 wire, so no longer having to worry about Cat5 terminations in the field. You'll notice that we do have a glass face-plated controller there, and that switch, we have multiple versions. Really nice, slick look. Allows for easy wipe down, especially post-COVID, allowing for disinfectant. And then we have some of our smaller sensors as well. So if you're looking to do a sensor in a small space and you don't want a large obstruction on the ceiling, you can use those. And they also include a photo cell.
So we've got really thin profiles, handheld switch, hold it in your hand, tape it to a wall, easily to remove, put it on a little pedestal. And we've also got versions of this product that are your traditional gang, but obviously a lot thinner profile. So this is new and available for Integrator wireless products.
So these are Navis fixtures. These are LED downlights. They're designed to be recessed and in a very small form factor, so they fit behind the ceiling. As you can see here, it has a recessed mounting system that allows it to lock into place with just a couple of Allen wrenches. You don't need access to above the ceiling in order to install these. You can fit it in from below the ceiling, screwed in with some Allen wrenches. And then from there, everything that goes on it is a magnetic accessory, right? You screw these in, you can pop your cover on there, you can pop different size trim rings on there, you can pop different size lids on there depending on the application you want. Now, because these are tied to our F-drive system, they use a Cat5 cable to power them and control them. This Cat5 cable daisy chains from one fixture to the next up to 4 fixtures on a single home run.
And so this is your power pack?
Correct.
So the switches and sensors connect back to this?
Correct.
And this one says tunable white. What kind of tunable white are you doing here? Is it 0 to 10?
0 to 10.
Okay.
They're all 0 to 10.
So any power pack that we have has 0 to 10 control?
Correct.
And this says tri-zone limit controller. Does that mean there's 3 zones?
Correct.
This is called RSI, and this is a system input device. So as much as we make switches, and we do that for obviously your typical control, we're not going to make every switch, we're not going to make every sensor. So we've got a device that can bring in third-party inputs into our system. This is a 2-input device, so we've got 2 different channels. So we can bring 2 devices into this one.
And that's low voltage integration?
These are low voltage, so it's basically a dry contact 0 to 10 volt type.
So either switching or dimming input?
Yep, absolutely. And then you bring this in, and then you're just connecting this to any of your output devices, so now you can control maybe from a pillow switch for hospital applications, a mushroom switch for those industrial, fire alarms, all kinds of things like that.
So how is this powered?
This is mechanical.
It's mechanical, so
Correct.
so just the pressing of the button is what powers it?
Yes.
Interesting. And what, these sensors up here look a little different from what you normally see with sensors. What's going on?
So this is our TAP 31. This we can use in a conference room. Everyone is solar powered, you can see.
Okay,
Solar
so
panel.
that's what those are on the side.
Those are solar panels.
So these are, they don't have to be battery powered.
I'm going to show the breadth of what we can do. SCM is known for exterior rated products. And so we have a selection of watch lights, moving lights, and direct view pixel products. We have a couple of different engines for these watch lights as well. We're known for doing specific engines of LEDs for specific applications. So here is a Q engine and here's a P engine. And they do different things. So the Q is designed to be very wide, very powerful in terms of beam angle. The P is designed to be much more controllable and give you more flexibility in the mid-range beam angles. We also do direct view pixel products. So this is the Video Pixel Linear. This is an RGB direct view product that is able to run over 260 feet. It is able to be powered on mains voltage without a head-end controller, so there's a lot of easier cabling and flexibility there. We also have lenses that make it easy to integrate into different architectural styles. This is an incredibly bright pixel controlled product though. This is an 8,400 nit or around 810 lumens of brightness out of a direct view product. So it's something that is able to be viewed in daytime as well as in evening.
Our big products that we have come out with over the last few years has been just smaller, stronger, and smarter. That's our big solution right now. So when it comes to having one of these red boxes in your facility, especially in New York City or anywhere, the biggest challenge is where do you put them? We put them anywhere. So what we've done is we've actually made smaller products that are actually plenum rated, so you put them above the ceiling, so you don't even have to have them in an equipment room, which is really nice. A lot of products, again, because of LED bringing the wattages so far down, it's allowed us to have centralized emergency solutions that are a lot smaller. And again, because we develop a sine wave output, we can go very long distance. So this doesn't have to be near the fixture. This can be as far away as you need it to be. So you have a very architecturally pleasing space that you want to have open. You don't have to have batteries every 10, 15 feet like you would if it was a DC solution.
What we have here is a couple of innovations that got awards last year from the IES. The first is a programmable warm dim curve. So many designers love to have a two-push button where you can dim up and get cooler and dim down and get warm. The problem is if you are not able to program the curve at which you are mixing your dimming and your CCT. You could be dimming down and your green light line looks very orangey, or you can dim down and you get too low towards the warm side, so your interior is going to look grayish. So we have that.
So how do you achieve that?
Okay, so you see, like right now I'm on the app. Let's talk about these. Right now we have tunable white luminance, and you see right now I'm getting cooler or warmer. But now I can go here, and instead of being tunable white, I can select. Let's say that I go to an hospitality metal. Okay, so now I'm using this curve. It's a specific curve. So now as I'm gonna go up. And as I'm dimming down, you see I'm getting warm very fast.
Sure. So ultimately you can program your own curve?
Yes.
The big update that came with the Miro 2 is ludicrous mode, which is the ability to push the full fixture wattage at any light recipe. So a lot of traditional fixtures, when you have multiple LEDs, when you have it set to, say you have an RGBW, if you have it set to just red, you're only getting a quarter of the total power.
Because the chip, there's only so much that goes to red.
Exactly. So a lot of traditional LEDs you'll have, or traditional fixtures, say you have a 40 watt fixture, it'll be 10 watts red, 10 watts
blue, or green. And sometimes you may overindulge in the red to compensate for the lack of output that the red chips have.
Well, in this case, really what the goal is you can drive all 40 watts of power just to the red chip, which means you're getting, opposed to these peaks and valleys as far as when you're creating a dynamic lighting effect, you're getting a really constant output.
And does that depreciate the lifespan of the LED?
No, because they are rated for a 40 watt.
Based on Bluetooth wireless mesh system. It's a super simple system, but yet very powerful. It's fully networked. but has no gateways of any kind, even with multi-thousand fixture systems. Basically, the nodes can go, things can go either in the fixture or at a circuit level. Plug sensors directly into those control nodes, and that's your system. You then add wall stations, which can be battery or wireless. We have full remote access, so you're able to you can fully commission and set up the system and manage it remotely, or you can have it completely local. The whole idea, it scales to many thousand fixture large buildings, corporate campuses, down to a small tenant retrofit. Super easy to do, configures with a mobile phone or our laptop tools at larger scale. So it's easy to use, low cost, but has all the capabilities of a full network lighting control system.
All right, so you're going to start with your name and company, and then just go into your spiel. Talk product, talk about Roscoe, just do your spiel. Okay. Start with your name, company, and then jump in.
Whenever you're ready, dive right in, and then jump in.
Just get into the groove, and then my editor will just do whatever he wants to edit it out. I mean, you could probably start by saying, I'm Nick with SensorWorks.
Yeah, so I'm Nick with SensorWorks.
Good. Hey guys, I'm here with Don.
All right, you're recording? Okay,